Hey everyone, so I'm back to read another um, adventure book. This time I'm going to be reading a Which Way book, not a Choose Your Own Adventure book, but they're pretty much the same thing. Uh, Very similar concept. It's not really any different. This doesn't have like hit points or, a character sheet or anything crazy like that. So, yeah, pretty much the same thing. Anyways, this one is Which Way Books number 8, Cosmic Encounters. It's written by R.G. Austin and illustrated by Doug Jameson. So from the planet Earth to the farthest reaches of outer space, you're about to blast off to adventure. And then on the cover it shows sort of a Battlestar Galactica Cylon looking thing, and there's a giant ape and some dinosaurs, flying dinosaurs, and a UFO, and all sorts of things. Alright, and on the back cover, you are an astronaut on your first solo flight. When suddenly the emergency lights flash on, something's wrong. You climb out to start repairs on the solar fuel cell, but the lifeline slips loose from your belt. Without warning, you are adrift in outer space. But whether your fate is to be swallowed by a giant amoeba, lost in a forest of man-eating plants, hunted by beasts on a primitive planet, captured by the clones of Conwa, or caught in a battle between aliens and rebel robots, don't give up hope. There's always a way out waiting. There's always a way out waiting, because you get to choose what happens next. Just go back to the beginning and start a brand new adventure, and who knows where on Earth or in outer space you'll end up next time. Welcome to the world of Which Way books, where you make things happen. Oh, hi, Beth. Yeah, so Which Way wasn't quite as popular. It didn't have as many books as Choose Your Own Adventure books, but it was a thing. Where is the Earthling? Asks a strange mechanical voice. It is the voice of a robot. In a panic, you turn to the panel and push a purple button. The section of floor on which you are standing begins to rise. Higher and higher you go. I'll be crushed when I get to the ceiling, you think. Suddenly, there is a loud pounding on the door. If you jump off the platform, turn to page 83. If you think the platform may be a way out, turn to page 102. But either way, you won't lose, because if you don't like one ending, all you need to do is turn back a few pages to start the excitement all over again. Hope we do all the things tonight. I'll try to. We'll try to get to all the things, as long as we can get to them by 9. Oh, hi, Sue. And Which Way books? Yes.
My resolution on my computer is all F. So
Okay.
I'm fixing it just so
All right.
you know, like,
Sure.
I'm not ignoring
Well, here are some of the other Choose Your Own Adventure. Here's some of the other Which Way books here. Famous and Rich. Spell of the Black Raven. Vampires, Spies, and Alien Beings. That's a weird combination. Alright. And this was originally published in 1982. It's for Andrea, Eric, Rusty, and Scott. Attention! Which Way books must be read in a special way. Do not read the pages in order. If you do, the story will make no sense at all. Instead, follow the directions at the bottom of each page until you come to an ending. Only then should you return to the beginning and start over again, making different choices this time. There are many possibilities for exciting adventures. Some of the endings are good, some of the endings are bad. If you meet a terrible fate, you can reverse it in your next story by making new choices. Remember, follow the directions carefully and have fun. Always remember to have fun. Page 1. You are an astronaut. After 3 years of training, you have learned how to control your heartbeat so that you will not age at the normal human rate. Is that what astronauts... I don't think that's what astronauts do, but okay. I think that's more like meditation or going on a mountaintop in Tibet with, some kind of Zen master. You have mastered the complex computers on the spacecraft. You have learned how to communicate by electro-telephonic waves, and you have studied intergalactic astronomy so that you will be able to recognize those planets that might harbor life. Finally, you are ready for your first solo flight. That is really helpful to know. What, how to age, not just slow, control your heartbeat and you won't age at the normal human rate? That sounds legit. The countdown begins. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! The thrust of the solid fuel rockets leaves magnificent plumes of yellow exhaust as you lift off from the surface of the Earth. In minutes, you have passed through the Earth's atmosphere into the zero-gravity vastness of outer space. Prepare to set your coordinates for the Olympus Galaxy, the woman at ground control says. You follow her directions carefully. Continue on to page 3. Suddenly, the spacecraft begins to tremble and the emergency lights flash. One of the solar fuel cells located on the tail of the ship has malfunctioned. You decide to climb outside the module and repair the fuel cell. And here's a close-up of our spaceship. Continue on to page 5. You attach a lifeline to the belt on your spacesuit. Then you climb through the portal. Although you have practiced in simulated conditions on Earth, you are not prepared for the exhilarating feeling of zero gravity. You are weightless, just floating and flying in space. You're here just in time. Yes, Rob, you're here just in time for the rocket explosion. Yes. Carefully, you make your way to the rear of the craft. You can see the solar fuel cell that is malfunctioning. It seems to have come loose from its connecting conduit. Just as you reach for the cell to make the connection, the lifeline slips loose from your belt. If you try to repair the cell and then crawl along the ship back to the portal, turn to page 10. If you reach for the lifeline, turn to page 13. Here we are. Your drawings all seem very similar. Drawings are the other Which Way book I have is the Star Trek one. Other one I originally read, that has same art. Grab the lifeline, repair. That says repair, and Rob and Valerie saying lifeline. I guess we will go with lifeline and see what happens. But if that does not work out, we will definitely need to do the repair instead. You reach out to grab the lifeline and lose contact with the ship. The lifeline is just out of reach, and so is the ship. Helplessly, you watch as the spacecraft continues on its journey without you. I am doomed, you think, as the craft becomes a small dot in the distance. You are alone in space. Oh, Sue, I'm sorry. I missed Sue also said repair. Maybe we should have repaired. Turn to page 18. Things are not looking good here. You look into the vastness of the universe. The lights of distant stars sparkle. Suddenly, you notice that one of the lights is moving towards you at incredible speed. When it gets closer, you see red lights spinning crazily around the edges of a pancake-shaped vehicle. You are astounded. You do not know that ground control had prepared for such an emergency. The rescue ship is enormous. It stops and hovers next to you. A shining silver door slides open, and an automated arm is extended. You grab hold and are pulled into the ship. Inside, 3 people, dressed in bizarre spacesuits, greet you. Thank goodness, you say. You've saved me. How did Mission Control do this so quickly? No one answers your question. Instead, they beckon you to follow them. Continue on page 19. You are taken through corridors of shining steel, then into an elevator. Oh, Rob. Oh, whoops. The elevator, although you ask questions as you walk, you receive no answers. The elevator door opens, and you are overwhelmed at the size of the control room. It is vast. Overhead, 25 portholes offer an incredible view of space. A man stands up and approaches you. You assume he is the captain. You have saved my life, you say, as you extend your arm to shake hands. Instead of shaking your hand, he places a tiny wire across your forehead and hooks it around your ears. Now you will understand our language, says the man. We have waited a long time for this. You gasp when you realize that this man is not from Earth. He is an alien being. Come, the captain says. Place your body in this computerized particle decoder. If you question the captain, turn to page 6. If you refuse to enter the particle decoder, turn to page 9. Do we want to enter the particle decoder? Or question him? So I guess if we're questioning him, does that mean we're... So that says question him. The other says go in the decoder. Why do the aliens have to be so weird about it? I don't know. They're like, hey, how you doing? Hey, thanks for rescuing me. Blah, blah, blah. Get in the particle decoder.
Put your body in the tower.
I haven't been decoded in a long time. Sorry to hear that, Rob. Does that mean you want to go? Does that mean you would not refuse to go in the particle decoder? You want to go into the particle decoder? Decoder? Let's not refuse. All right. Well, then we'll question him. Oops. Let me in that decoder right now. I want into that decoder. What is a computerized particle decoder, you ask? It enables us to determine the makeup of Earthlings, the captain replies. But will it harm me, you ask, terrified? Doesn't really sound terrified, does it? It is our belief, based on scientific data, that it will not. But you have no proof, you ask? None. We have never met an Earthling before. However, that makes no difference. You must do as you're ordered to do. You have no choice. Turn to page 26. Okay. I always like it when they say, you have no choice. In a Choose Your Own Adventure book, it wouldn't tell you that. It would just say, this is what you're doing. This one explicitly tells you, you have no choice. Just in case you were wondering. You walk to the particle decoder and sit inside. It looks like a glass box surrounded by colored lights. Once you are seated, an alien attaches you to 7 electrodes. Then, the lights begin to flash crazily. You feel yourself growing faint. Then, you lose consciousness. When you awaken, you are lying on a hard cot. Strange, says the medical officer. You are made up of almost all hydrogen and oxygen, he says. Water, you say. He ignores you. I do not know if we can adjust your components to survive on Meson, our planet. Where is that, you ask. In the Cleavon Galaxy. You watch as the medical officer prepares solutions to change your human body. You are horrified. Continue to page 27. No, you cry. Don't change me. You try to raise yourself from the table, but you can only move your arms. The rest of you is stuck to the surface. You cannot move until I release the electromagnetic bonds that bind you, the officer says. So struggling is useless. The officer then prepares a solution to be injected into you with a strange gun-like apparatus. There's that dude. Oh, these illustrations are kind of familiar. I thought I might have read this as a kid. If you cooperate, turn to page 24. If you try to grab the particle injector, turn to page 37. What are you made of? You seem to be made of mostly oxygen and hydrogen. Weird. Don't go changing my heart. Don't go changing my heart. I couldn't if I tried. Okay. I can't wait to turn into an alien-human hybrid. Yeah. It'd be so cool. So who wants to cooperate and become an alien? Or should we try to grab the particle injector? Did I already show? Yeah, I showed that dude, right? Cooperate. Valerie says cooperate. If you cooperate, you will not be harmed. Anyone else want to cooperate? I can only grab it if I can shoot myself harder with it. I don't think that would be the reason for grabbing it. Well, since in the book we seem to object, I feel like a little rebellion is good. Yeah, I think we'll try to grab it. You reach for the particle injector, but you are stopped. We are traveling at 5 times the speed of light at this very moment, says the medical officer. Soon we will enter the Cleavon galaxy. You have not been adjusted. You will not survive the alien atmosphere. You have no choice. The officer moves towards you. Then he places the particle injector against your leg. You feel a warm, burning sensation that travels quickly throughout your entire body. You feel as if you are breaking apart. You look at your hands, but they are no longer there. You look down. Part of your body has disappeared. The medical officer moves quickly. He injects 5 cc of pro-particle solution into your disappearing body. Oh, it's pro-particle solution, okay. This is how we get the Fantastic Four, people. Turn to page 51. You watch as your body takes shape once more. It seems no different, and yet your breathing seems slower, your eyesight clearer. Your body is functioning on a new level. As you look out of the portholes, great waves of fire surround the ship. We have entered the Cleavon atmosphere, the medical officer says. There is no longer any need for you to wear your pressurized suit. In minutes, you have landed. Then the captain approaches you. If you would like to go to your room and rest before seeing our planet, you may. Or you may come with me while I make my report. If you go with the captain, turn to page 47. If you go to your room, turn to page 78. So we can either go with the captain while he makes his report. The Cleveland atmosphere, yes. Welcome to the Cleveland planet. You want to read that report? So you want to go with the captain? The Valerie wants to go with the captain. Anyone else want to go with the captain? Or do you just want to go to our room? Oh, I'm on an alien planet. This is so cool. I think I'll go to my room now. It's going to be exciting in that room. Go with the captain. Everyone wants to go with the captain. Okay. Go with the captain. You walk with the captain through a long corridor that appears to be made of glass, but it is stronger and thicker than glass. You realize that you are walking in a crystal corridor. Then, you enter a vast crystal room. Everything sparkles. Everything shines. In the center of the room, an alien sits on a crystal throne. Our mission is complete, the captain reports, and, for the first time, we have returned with an Earthling. The leader nods. Did you encounter any robots? He asks. None, the captain replies. Then he turns to you. The robots, created years ago by one of our own, have turned on us. They are trying to take over our planet, and then they plan to attack Earth and enslave all the people. With your help, we are hoping to prevent this from happening. but it could be very dangerous. Will you help? If your answer is no, turn to page 53. If your answer is yes, turn to page 62. And here's the crystal leader. Looks very, very crystalline. Oh, hi, Brent. Go with the cap. We're going with the cap. Do we prefer Earthling or human? I prefer to be called human, not Earthling. So we want to help them. Certain. That's it. Sure. I want to be a crystal man. Let's do whatever makes that happen. Maybe we're already made of crystal. Like we don't. No, you said we like look pretty much the same and feel pretty much the same. So maybe we're not. So why is that one guy made of crystal though? Like, are they? Is everybody else made of crystal? Oh, I don't get it. All right, let's say yes. Seems like we're all want to. I mean, that guy didn't look. That guy looks friendly, right? Like he's gonna. The crystalline. Let us also thank the great crystalline entity with which I've learned to communicate. 62. The captain continues. We do not know whether we should attack the robots or try to locate the headquarters of their leader. You make the decision. Because we're an expert on this. We just got to their planet, so. We just got there, so we're an expert. We make the decisions now. If you go after the robots, turn to page 107. If you go after their leader, turn to page 113. Yeah, I hope we get to become a crystal man. That would be fun. Yeah, so I mean, well, if we're going after the leader, then we're actually still going after a robot, just not all of the robots. I can assume their leader is also a robot, right? Because like all robots, and then their leader is actually organic. Leader. So Valerie says leader. Beth says leader. After the leader. Why go after the tentacles when you can go after the head? It's the way to get ahead in the world. Leader. Anyone else for leader? Leader. All right. Yeah, I think we should go after the leader. Let's go after the leader. Oh, Rob also. The vote is unanimous. Going after the leader. Page 113. We know that our treacherous sister directs her robots from the Platon Peaks on the far side of the planet. If we can discover her headquarters, we can destroy her. Come with us. This is the first time we've heard about her. Okay. You board a cigar-shaped vehicle that rides on a track of air. Sometimes a cigar-shaped vehicle is just a cigar-shaped vehicle. No. In minutes, you, the captain, and a squadron of soldiers have reached the peaks. They rise from the surface of the planet in majestic splendor. You stop at the base of the highest mountain. Quietly, the soldiers disembark and take cover. Then, the captain takes out a tiny microphone. Hear me, Grigon, the captain says. I have an Earthling. The captain's voice is magnified 1,000 times. His words resound in the valleys and the mountains. Turn to page 72. I have an Earthling that you can eat for dinner. Delicious. Here, says the captain, handing you a small pen-like weapon. Take this impulse molecular destroyer and use it if you're in trouble. Now, you must walk slowly out into the open so that Grigon can see you. That is the only way she will know that we are telling the truth. Your knees are trembling, but you manage to make your legs work as you leave the safety of the vehicle and walk onto the flat land. Grigon, the captain's voice booms. See the Earthling! Send it to me, shouts a voice, so that I might inspect it. Send it up the mountain. You are horrified at the thought of going all alone to meet this evil leader, but bravely you begin to climb. You climb for more than half an hour. Suddenly, a blinding light shines in your eyes. Halt, Earthling! Grigon's voice booms. Grigon rises from behind a huge boulder and walks towards you. She reaches out and pinches your arm. She's like, you got a lot of good muscle down that arm. That arm's pretty good. You're obviously working out, Earthling. Delicious. Continue on to page 73. Your covering is alien, Grigon says, but it appears that you are an Earthling. You will be the leader of the conquering forces that will take over planet Earth. Come with me. If you go with Grigon, you are afraid that you will not be able to escape. You wonder if now is the time to use your impulse molecule destroyer. If you use your impulse molecule destroyer, turn to page 57. If you go with Grigon, turn to page 79. Your covering is alien. That paper looks so textured. It is. Also, unlike Choose Your Own Adventure books, the side is yellow. You can see that the edge of the paper is actually yellow. I think all of the Which Way books have that uniqueness. It's not because it's an old book. It's like they just have like yellow edges on the paper. I want to conquer Earth. Go. In the biz, we call it an IMD. Okay, we'll just call it an IMD from now on then. You use the IMD now? Alright, so we're going to go with Grigon? We want to conquer. I mean, maybe Earth would be better off if they conquered Earth. Who knows? Page 79. You start to walk. Grigon is behind you, her laser gun trained on your back. Help, you cry. Oh, wait. Help, you cry, as you pretend to trip on a rock and stumble to the ground. Rise up, Earthling, Grigon orders. I cannot, you say, holding onto your ankle, hoping to stall. Then you are no good to me, Grigon says, as she points her laser and shoots. The end. That makes no sense. So, at least we got a picture of Grigon. Wait. We said we were going with her. Why would we fall down and then pretend to stall for time? Like, that wasn't the option. It was to just go with Grigon. Yeah, no one's falling for our BS. Why are there clouds? Oh, because they're on the top of the mountain. I was like, why are there clouds there? They look pretty human to me. Like, she doesn't look like a crystalline being or anything like that. Alright. Made no sense. Alright, so I guess try using the impulse molecule destroyer. See what happens there. Oh, 57. I almost went to 75. Whoops. Suddenly, you grip your side as if you are in pain. Then, you pull your IMD from under your shirt. What is that, you say, looking up at the sky? Grigon looks up too. Don't move, you say. I've got you covered with my IMD. Oh, we actually are referring to it as an IMD in the book too. Nice. Rob, have you read this book before? Obviously you have. If you already knew they were going to call it an IMD. Don't shoot, Grigon begs when she sees your weapon. The Earthling doesn't have to, says the voice of the captain as he emerges from behind a boulder. You are ours now, Grigon, says the captain. Then the captain turns to you. That was very clever and very brave. Planet Earth may never know that it has been saved by you, but we know that you are a hero. And I'm just a big Grigon fan. Yeah, I wish we could do like more stuff with the Grigon. I feel like she has a lot of potential. Well, maybe. Oh, she does have a crystal on her helmet. That's true. Maybe go back to where. Maybe we'll try going back to where we repaired the cell and then call along the ship back to the portal. Instead of reaching for the lifeline. Oh, so clever. Oh, you mean when we point up at the sky and say, "Hey, what's that?" Can't believe you fell for that one. That's the oldest trick in the book. Here, let me help you up. Alright, so we turn to page 10. Oh, yeah, Beth, I think it was you that thought we should repair the cell and then crawl along back to the ship. So I think try that, see where that takes us. Fearfully, you watch your lifeline float away. Then, you set about the task of repairing the solar fuel connection. You are successful. Very carefully, always holding on to the ship, you make your way back to the portal and re-enter the ship. You sit down at the control panel. You are so exhausted from the task you have just completed that you fall asleep. When you awaken, you look out. Your heart skips a beat when you realize that you are way off course, careening towards the unknown. I have no choice, you think. I must try to reverse course until I can locate my position. I love all the choices and things that are not things that where we have no choice in this book. That's pretty cool. Turn to page 16. You reverse course, but the longer you travel, the more confused you become. Soon, you see a bright object through the porthole. It is heading directly towards you. If you think it is wise to maintain course, turn to page 7. If you try to take evasive action, turn to page 14. Alright, should we maintain course or take evasive action? Evasive pattern Epsilon Delta. We were watching a Star Trek episode last night where there was like evasive pattern blah blah blah. Evasive pattern these Greek words. Wish they'd actually like explain what all those evasive patterns are. That would be pretty cool. I bet there's like a book somewhere where it explains, well, this pattern, you do this. This is what that means. Maybe it's in the Star Trek The Next Generation technical manual. We'll have to dig that out. Evasive. Take evasive action. Anyone else think we should take evasive action? Yeah, let's take evasive action. Okay. Seems like the wise way to go. You take evasive action, turning first to your right, then to your left. Finally, using a circular maneuver, you manage to get away from the strange craft. But in doing so, you lose track of which way you are traveling. In no time, you find yourself headed directly towards a small, dark planet. At least it's not chasing me, you think, as you prepare to land. When you step out of your spacecraft, you hear a strange grunting noise. So, we're just like, oh, we see a small, dark planet. Let's just land on it. Okay. If you investigate the noise, turn to page 11. If you jump into your spacecraft and take off, turn to page 28. So yeah, we can either investigate the grunting noise, or we can jump back into our spaceship and get off that planet. Or, small dark planet. And so Beth says, investigate the noise, investigate the grunting sound. It could be a cute space pig. Rob, you're right, it could be. That's a high possibility that's a cute space pig. Alright, we'll investigate the noise. You walk towards the noise. Something moves. You cannot believe your eyes. There, hunched before you, is a man. A thick layer of hair covers his body. An animal's skin is wrapped around his waist. Even though he is fearsome to look at, he appears to be frightened and unsure of what or who you are. Gleek, he says. You do not understand. Gleek, 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 he says, pounding on his chest. That must be his name, you think. Gleek, you say, with a smile, and hold out your hand. Gleek, he nods and grabs your arm. If you shove Gleek away, turn to page 17. If you lead Gleek to your spacecraft, turn to page 41. Oh, Sue, okay. You were also for the grunting sound. Yep, we were investigating the grunting sound. I guess the source of the grunting sound is Gleek, apparently. So yeah, we can either shove Gleek away or take them back to our spaceship. Gleek was the monkey on the Super Friends, that's right. And Space Monkey Gleek. Zan, what are the Wonder Twins' names? Was it Zan and Jaina? And then there's Space Monkey Gleek. Lead Gleek. No, shove Gleek away. Or Gleek is a person who loves the show Glee. That seems like it would be a real thing. Lead Gleek. Lead. Oh, Valerie also saying Lead Gleek. That says Lead Gleek. Yeah, I think we'll lead Gleek. He hasn't done anything bad yet. Lead him to our spaceship, to page 41. Gleek looks at your vehicle with wonder. You motion to him to follow you. Inside the spacecraft, Gleek's eyes almost pop out of his head with surprise. He reaches out to touch something. No, you shout. But it is too late. You blast off, with Gleek as your companion. Who didn't see that coming? Oh, Gleek! Just gonna start touching buttons. Let's see what happens. Gleek! Yes, turn to page 108. I love Gleek on principle. Yeah, he just wants to go on a space adventure. I mean, he doesn't mean any harm. You are about to return Gleek to his planet when you pick up a signal from an Earth space station. You know that you cannot risk losing the signal by returning Gleek, so you set your coordinates for the station, thinking that this would be a good opportunity for Earth scientists to investigate early man. Why is early man on some remote dark planet somewhere? That's how do we know that's early man? It's like not even something you found on Earth. After soaring through space for several hours, you sight the station, you signal to it, and then prepare to dock. At first, you are greeted warmly by the engineers in the station, but when they see Gleek, they are shocked. "Whew," says one of the men, holding his nose. "I bet he hasn't had a bath in his entire life. He's filthy." Uncomprehending, Gleek looks at the man and smiles. Continue on page 109. "He's no more than an ape," another man says. "Just look at him. Disgusting." Gleek seems hurt by the tone of that voice that the man uses. Just then, a child enters the room. "Oh," she says with a smile, "he's wonderful." "Would you look at that?" a man says. "Maria hasn't smiled in weeks. She's been so lonely on the station. Now look at her." Maria runs over to Gleek and starts to hug him. "No," says one of the engineers. "Don't touch him. Get her out of here." If you allow Maria to be taken from the room, turn to page 103. If you tell the man that Gleek is gentle, turn to page 115. Give him a bath then, damn. No, this is going to start, keep saying how disgusting he is and how bad he smells. Yeah, Gleek's okay. Yeah, we're bringing him no matter what anyways. So should we allow Maria to be taken away from Gleek? Or tell him that Gleek is gentle? Yeah, Beth says, tell him that Gleek is gentle. He's gentle, I think. So far. In all fairness, Gleek probably is a petri dish of disease. Yeah, Diseases that we have no defense against or no immunity against. Because they're all space diseases. But he is gentle. Anyone else think we should just tell them that Gleek is gentle? Gleek is a good man. He's a kind man. He has plans. He has wisdom. Listen to Gleek. He's gentle. Yeah, we'll tell him he's gentle. No hurt, Gleek. Please, you say. Gleek is gentle. He wouldn't hurt Maria. Are you kidding? The man says. This ape belongs in a cage. He belongs on his own planet, you reply firmly, and I will take him there as soon as I calculate the coordinates. Not in your life. We're taking him to Earth. He's a great specimen. Gleek looks at Maria and smiles. He indicates through sign language that he has a child just her age. A big tear rolls down his cheek, and you know that he is frightened and homesick. You can't take him, you say. You're wrong, the man says, pulling his laser and pointing it at you. So, how did Gleek know sign language? I guess he just learned it just now. If you try to talk reasonably with the man, turn to page 74. If you think the man is dangerous, and you try to knock the gun from his hand, turn to page 86. I swear I've read this before. Yeah, I think I've read this before too. I actually recognize the illustrations more than I recognize the writing and the story. Like some of the illustrations, I'm like, oh yeah, like that crystal guy on the throne. Like I feel like I've seen him before. Probably our school probably had like all of the Which Way books. I'm pretty sure we had them at the library too. So that says we should knock the gun away. Anyone else think we should knock the gun away? Gleek and Maria is familiar, yeah. Gleek. So all he can say is Gleek, but he does know sign language, so. Knock the gun away. Or we can just try to talk reasonably with him. He'll listen to reason. No, he smells bad and he does look like an ape, but he's also gentle and he misses his family. So Sue says also knock the gun away. All right, I think we will try to knock the gun away. I can't let you do this, you say, moving towards the man. He raises his laser to shoot. No, Maria cries, don't shoot. And with a swift movement of her little arm, she knocks the laser out of the man's hand. Immediately, you pick it up. Now, you say, don't move until I get Gleek out of here. You reach over and take Gleek by the hand. Come, you say, I'm taking you home. Okay. Well, that was also a good ending. Took Gleek home. But what? Wasn't there something going on Earth that we had to like help them with something on Earth? Huh. What other options do we have here? So we tried to repair the cell. Turn to page 10 and page 16. What if we try to maintain course and see what happens when that light was coming towards us? Yeah, Gleek got to go home. Yay! We'll miss you, Gleek. Yeah, maybe we'll maintain course and see where that takes us. The object grows closer and closer. You keep thinking that it will change course, but it does not. The object moves directly towards you at an awesome speed. This is it, you think, as you prepare to crash. But there is no crash. Instead, you are simply swallowed up by the craft. You are astounded. It never even slowed down, you think. Everything is silent. You seem to be trapped inside a giant void. You do not know where you are or what to do. Then your portal opens, and you find yourself staring at three people who look exactly alike. "Welcome," says one. "Welcome," says the second. "Welcome," says the third. "Come with us," says one. The other two nod. You have no choice. Turn to page 20. It's like the Three Stooges. Hello, 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 hello. You are taken from your spacecraft. You are taken from your spacecraft into the gigantic mothership. You walk down long corridors. Then you are put into a single-person elevator that whisks you upward. When the door opens, you look into a room that has 5 more people who are exact copies of the lookalikes. "We've been expecting you," says one alien. He is wearing a badge on his uniform to distinguish him from the others. "What is this?" you ask, appalled. "Why do you all look alike?" "We are clones," says the man, "from Kanwa." "Clones? What are they?" you ask. "We have been reproduced from the cell of one person," the man answers. "We have been searching for a new person to clone, and now we have one." If you try to convince the man that you are not a good candidate for cloning, turn to page 23. If you look around for a way to escape, turn to page 52. We keep getting kidnapped over and over again. Oh, you remember the clones? Send in the clones. Don't bother, they're here. Well, then you know what we should do about the clones, right? Should we convince them that we're not a good candidate for cloning, or just try to escape? Send in the clones. Send in the clones. The Clone Wars. I fought with your father during the Clone Wars. That says we should convince them that we're not. Convince them that we're not worth cloning. We're not a good candidate for cloning. Anyone else think we should convince them that we're not a good candidate for cloning? Send in. Don't bother, they're here. Clone us. Do it. So try to convince them that we're not a good candidate? Alright, well, we'll try not to look for a way to escape. We'll just say, do it. Oh, that's, Sue says also, convince them. Alright. Hey, you say, I'm just one person. I'm not worth cloning. Of course you are, the man says. We're going to make 10 other people who look exactly like you. I find it a horrible prospect, you answer. But why? Because I'm unique, and I want to stay that way. We care nothing for uniqueness, and uniformity is strength. That is the motto of Kanwa. How can you say that? Don't you care about individuality? Care, says the man, momentarily puzzled. Oh, yes, that is a feeling. I've heard of feelings, but they are a thing of the past. He pauses for a moment and then says, Strap yourself into the chair. You must prepare for landing on Kanwa. And here they are, the clones. If you refuse, turn to page 15. If you strap yourself into the chair, turn to page 43. So do we strap ourselves into the chair or refuse to get strapped into the chair? So I guess we're already landing on Kanwa then. That didn't take long. Ah, yeah, so you can see that one's the leader because he has a kind of badge on his outfit. Buckle up. So that says, yeah, buckle up. Strap yourself in. Anyone else think we should buckle up? Buckle up. I kind of think we should buckle up. Anyone think we should buckle up? Alright, we'll buckle ourselves up. You sit in the chair and pull the strap over your chest. Then, you watch as the spacecraft enters the Kanwa atmosphere. Soon, you have landed. Come, says the leader. I will show you our laboratory. Or, if you prefer, I will show you the kindergarten first. Okay. If you visit the kindergarten, turn to page 32. If you go to the lab with the leader clone, turn to page 71. Well, every page is a different decision. So we're going to visit the clone kindergarten. Yes, it's so Valerie says lab. That says what? Yeah, but there's a clone kindergarten we can visit first, or we can go to the lab with the leader clone. Not sure why they would need a kindergarten, but go to the lab. Okay. I guess we will go to the lab. We're not going to the kindergarten. Let's get no more delays in getting cloned here. You disembark from the spaceship and board a high-speed monorail. It takes you right to the entrance of the lab. Inside, 7 scientists who look exactly alike in their white coats are working feverishly over a series of test tubes. Ah, says one when he sees you. Another candidate? Precisely, says the leader clone. Come, the scientist says to you. It won't hurt. We only require 1 cell. He approaches you with a strange-looking instrument. It looks as if it could be a deadly weapon, and you wonder if he is lying. Oh, Rob, yes, Rob also said lab. Everyone's was in agreement on lab. Yeah, if you think he is lying, turn to page 87. If you think he is telling the truth, turn to page 97. So do we think he's lying and he's not going to, like, just get 1 cell? That picture looks like a screenshot from Doom. Yeah. Yeah, that game, Doom. I was reading through an old video game magazine from like the early 90s, and it was talking about how they released Doom for the Genesis 32X. And I was like, wow, that must have been so cutting edge at the time. The 32X, that was the thing you plugged into your Genesis to make it a sort of a 32-bit system. Ah, that says, yes, truth. He's telling the truth. Yeah, why? He wouldn't lie. Why would he lie? There's no reason to lie. Truth. Page 97. He is telling the truth. He probably is telling the truth, you think, but I still don't want him to make other me's. As the scientist approaches, you kick out with your foot and knock the instrument from his hand. So, says the scientist, you're one of those. Take this earthling away, he orders. One of the other scientists grabs you and pulls you out the door. You are taken aboard the monorail and transported outside the boundaries of Kanwa. Then you are pushed out of the car. You are exiled, the scientist shouts before riding away. Frightened, you look around. Before you is a dark forest. To the right of the forest is a stream with a bridge running over it. If you walk towards the forest, turn to page 58. If you cross the bridge, turn to page 81. Could wait to cross that bridge when we get to it. You're exiled, sucker. That's it. You're one of those. I think who says, ah, so you're one of those. Whatever that is. What are those? That happens in science all the time. Like a scientist is doing an experiment. Someone's like, no, I don't think you should do that. And they're like, ah, you're one of those. So Valerie says forest. Anyone else think we should go into the forest? Forest. That would be page 58. Or we can cross the bridge. $58 or $81. Alright, I guess we'll walk towards the forest. You are lost and alone. You do not know what to do. You decide to enter the forest. Then you hear the sound of someone crying. You follow the noise and come upon a young man who is sitting on the ground. His head is resting on his knees, and he is sobbing. Continue on to page 59. What's the matter, you ask? Why are you so sad? I am sad because a friend of mine has chosen to return to Kanwa and live with the clones. We have just said goodbye. What is so bad about living with clones? A clone has no feelings. In Kanwa, there is no love, no kindness, no caring. Life itself means nothing. Those of us who have escaped are originals. No one has ever been cloned from ourselves. We still have our feelings. You mean there are more of you, you ask? Many more. Would you like to meet them? Oh, yes. It is a dangerous journey. Very dangerous. Poor Carrot Top. Oh, I'm sorry, Carrot Top. It actually kind of does look like Carrot Top, doesn't it? If you embark upon the journey with Carrot Top, turn to page 76. If you do not wish to take the risk, turn to page 95. That's what these books are all about. They're about not taking risks and playing it safe. And not doing anything that would pose any danger to yourself or be a risk. Now that illustration looks so 70s. Like this person clearly is like still doing a 70s style. Embark. That says embark. Embark upon the journey. Anyone else for embarking? Embark. Or do we say, oh, I'm not going to take the risk. No. Too risky. Get that journey on. All right. Don't stop believing. Hold on to the feeling. Street lights, people. I would risk anything to meet the exiles, you say. Let's be off. You travel for 2 days through the living forest, where carnivorous plants reach out for you at unexpected moments. A fern almost grabs you, but the young man pulls you from its clutches and saves your life. There's the carnivorous ferns. Journey. Oh, Sue also. Journey, yes. We're doing the journey. When you arrive at the home of the exiles, you are overjoyed to find they are overjoyed that someone new has joined them. You look around. Every face is different. Every voice has a different tone. We even love the sound of people arguing. When you explain to the group that you are from Earth, they are intrigued. That we must do our best to travel to this place, says a woman scientist. I shall start to design a spacecraft at once. It may take years, but we shall succeed. Everyone cheers, and there is a great celebration to commemorate the new venture. You are especially comforted, because you know there is a chance that someday you will return to Earth. I don't love the sound of arguing. The sound of arguing is so much fun. The end. Huh. Well, that was fun. I don't think any of these endings were actually all that bad. I don't think. I think pretty much tonight every ending was good. Wow, I love the smell of old books too. It has that kind of old book smell. Although the book's like in really good condition. This is surprising considering it's 89. Wow, yes. This book is 40 years old now. I can't believe that. Yikes. What are the other books that they've got out there? Oh, other Choose Your Own Adventure books? Other Which Way books? Yeah, there were plenty of endings where we get killed in all sorts of gruesome ways. Like this one where it's a prehistoric lizard, you think, just as the monstrous armadillo snout swings around and sucks you inside. See, that's not a good ending. We didn't. There should be Which Way books. So maybe kind of sort of we may eat a cheesesteak again. Yeah. Yeah, the Which Way books are fun. Oh, Danny Dunn. There's no stopping Danny Dunn. Danny Dunn, science fiction hero with his friends Irene and Joe, can't stay away from mystery and adventure. I've never heard of Danny. Oh wait, no, I probably did see this ad before. Never read any Danny Dunn books. Yeah, so far I have that Choose Your Own Adventure book, and I've got Which Way book, and I've also got this Which Way book. So maybe I'll read this one next week. We'll do some. Yeah, Danny Dunn. Do you know Danny Dunn, Rob? Never heard of Danny Dunn? Danny Dunn sounds like it's not a adventure book though. It's just a regular book. But look at these here. Danny Dunn and the Anti-Gravity Paint. Danny Dunn, Time Traveler. Danny Dunn and the Homework Machine. Danny Dunn and the Universal Glue. Danny Dunn and the Voice from Space. Danny Dunn and the Heat Ray. Nice. Oh, Danny Dunn and the Smallifying Machine. It's not a shrinking machine, it's a smallifying machine. You just made up a new word there. Oh, you haven't heard of him. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it was a fun book, I think so. Yeah, they have a different flavor from Choose Your Own Adventure books. But yeah, so I think I'm going to stop here this week. I've kind of been going over quite a bit on these books lately, so try to keep it to like 1 hour. I think that's a good amount of time to like get some adventure from them. How much was this? Wow, $1.95. Wow, so cheap. The Smallifying Machine, yeah. And the Danny Dunn in the Fossil Cave. Danny Dunn and the Swamp Monster. Danny Dunn, Invisible Boy. I kind of want to find one of these Danny Dunn books now. It's probably pretty terrible. As far as I never read one of these. Huh, anyways. Always a pleasure. Yeah, Rob. It was fun. Good times. You're welcome back. Yeah, so I'll stop here and hope to see you all in approximately 1 week. So have a good week and a good night, and take care.